All right, we are in the bathroom today working on a project. We are going to be building these floating shelves for a client's master bath. Now I realize they are a little bit high for your everyday type of function, but these shelves are more designed to put some antiques and collectible items that my client has picked up over the years. One very important item to him is his grandfather's shaving kit. This was from back in the day when men were men and they used real blades to shave with. All right, so before we start building this, let's look at the construction of it. This thing is going to be built out of veneer and solid wood. The top and bottom is going to be veneered, and then the center front of the shelves are going to be solid wood. And the reason why that is, if we look at the end here, wood movement moves in general across the width of the wood more than it does its length. So if I put this piece here and it's solid wood, this thing is going to move quite a lot more than the face. The face is going to move the other direction. So if there's too much wood movement, this could really split out that corner and it won't stay tight. So I'm going to veneer the top and the bottom to help slow that wood movement down in that direction, so I should have a nice tight corner for a long time. All right, so I got all the material prepped through the planer and resawn at the bandsaw, and so now I'm just veneering some 1/4-inch plywood to do the tops and bottoms of the floating shelf. And I'm going to veneer both sides of the plywood to keep it stable. And then as I'm going here, I'm really keeping track of the clock. This glue has about a 10-minute open time, so if I don't get all the pieces spread with glue and assembled within that 10-minute time, I'm just going to stop, put what I have done in the bag, let it do its thing, let it set up, and then pull it out of the bag and then do the next set. That way I don't extend the open time of the glue. All right, so I got the glue spread on the rest of the pieces, so I'm just going to break the seal on the bag and slide these guys in, and then reseal the bag up and reattach the vacuum, and then just reset the clock for the full 45 minutes that it needs to sit in the bag for this particular glue. There's so much pressure from this bag on that initial pull, so I'm not really worried about losing any kind of glue bond while I get these other pieces in here. All right, so while the material is drying in the veneer bag, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the material milled up for the front of the shelves. All right, there are a lot of miters in this project, and to be sure every single one of them lines up as perfect as can possibly be and all come together really tight, everything needs to be cut perfectly square and to a perfect 45, so I'm taking the time to set up a feather board for each cut that I make. My table saw is by far the most accurate way I have of cutting any kind of angle. So I'm going to cut all the miters for that corner where it's really critical that they all come together. Any little thing that is off is definitely going to show up somewhere in that corner. All right, so I have my returns I will return back to the wall. All right, so I'm going to get them ready to glue up. So I'm going to just tape these guys together. I'm using my table saw fence as a nice straight edge to help me get these guys lined up so that I don't accidentally tape them together crooked. There we go. All right, look how beautifully tight that goes together. Can't complain about that at all. All right, and then, all right, and these corners are why I veneered this so this is solid, because this can expand and contract this direction, and the wood wants to expand and contract this direction, but since it's a real thin veneer, there won't be a lot of movement this way, so it should all stay nice and tight. All right, so I'm going to dry fit the rest of these guys, get them all taped together, and then I'm going to mill some material to go inside here to help just give it some support. All right, so now that they're assembled, they're a little bit too tall to cut at the table saw. So I'm just going to take my time here at the miter saw and make sure the blade doesn't deflect as I cut. So I'm just going to go nice and slow and make that cut as accurate as I can. So there's not a good way to glue these guys up, so I'm just using the glue block method. I'm going to do it on both sides so I have equal pressure on both sides, because if I only did it on one side, it would just pull the other side apart and I'd have a big gap. But this is going to work out great. All right, so then for a little extra support at the seam here, I'm going to glue a extra block in here to bridge that gap, so it should strengthen that seam up really nicely and help keep everything nice and aligned. All right, and once the glue is dried, I was ready just to pop those glue blocks off, clean it up with a little bit of sanding, and apply some finish. Then head out to the client's house and hang them up on their wall. The shelves are hung up on just a basic simple cleat bolted to the wall. Thanks for watching.